Guys, what's up? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages. Today we're going to talk about the Phantom View Apartments. Let's get right into it. Here's the Phantom View Apartments, guys. Check this one out. I'm stoked to talk about this one. This box is big, and actually it surprised me how big it was because, while this looked like maybe a taller piece, I don't know, when you watch the videos and you see the pictures, you know, when Lemax releases it, you never really know. This is a tall one, though. Let's get into the box. Here's the Phantom View Apartments, guys. Check this out. Tall building. There's a lot going on here, lots of different kinds of animation, the soundtrack on it. It's kind of a combination. You have multiple pieces of animation, but you also have even the static scenes have the lights move around and it goes with the soundtrack, so it kind of looks like there's even more animation than there really is on it. I'll show you what it looks like lit up here in just a moment, but first, fit and finish on this one. It's nice. It feels like a ceramic style building here. It's not super heavy though. Look at it here. The paint on this one is very nice. The finish on this one is very nice. Lots of cool details like the internal scenes. I mean, there's multiple internal scenes here. Probably the elevator, which you'll see in a minute, is like the main scene here, but it looks very nice how this is cut out here. This is a very obvious reference to Ghostbusters. The first movie, the tower at the end of the movie where the climax is, absolutely. You can see it's a nod to it. Very cool. So here it is lit up, guys. Check this out. There's so much going on here. This is a building that will wow guests when they come over. So the big part of this is above the Phantom View Apartments, the sign, there's an elevator, which is an internal scene. And the way that the elevator goes down, it comes up and then it's got a slot that has like these little edges in it. And so it rocks kind of coming down. It looks like an out of control careening elevator. It's a very cool effect. It does have some clicking on it when it comes down, but that's necessary in the way it goes. It's hard to get in the video here to show you how it works, but if you can see it in person, you can see pretty obviously how they have the slot cut out for that elevator to come down like that. And the actual inside of the elevator is decaled up, and it's an internal scene with the guy that's in it. Now you have gargoyles. There's a lot of gargoyles on this piece, by the way, but you have two gargoyles next to the Phantom View Apartments part, the sign, I should say, that actually move. They kind of swivel back and forth. You have a ghost that goes on the, if you're looking at it, the left side of the building here, that goes in and outside of the building, kind of through a hole in the wall, or two holes in the wall, swivels around there. Then at the very top of the building, you've got a ghost who is chasing someone around. You have an additional internal scene here where the ghost, he's watching TV, and then at the bottom, you've got somebody trying to escape a window, and actually there's a spook behind them. The soundtrack makes reference to that. It's hard to show the spook behind it, but actually the guy is backlit back there. It's a very cool effect whenever this thing is actually on. You can see it. You know, as far as the details go too, there are several signs that are on this building, and I really love the paint that's supposed to look like a copper style paint. They did a really, really good job on this paint job. I think it's very well done. Very, very good Lemax finish on it. So yeah, you have the animation, but you also have the lights and sound that light up certain areas of the scene. You'll see here at the end of this whenever I play it with the lights and sound. But it kind of creates the illusion that there's more animation than even there is on it. So there's just a ton going on this building. I mentioned being a showpiece, and I can just see that a lot of folks out there are going to turn this one on when you really want to show somebody, you know, about these fun Halloween villages, just because there's so much going on here. And even if you take away the animation, there's all sorts of different lighting. I mentioned that lighting that follows different scenes around, kind of, you know, to give the illusion of more animation, but there's just a lot of different colors. It's very bright, it's very vibrant, it's just a lot of fun. Now this would obviously work in like a town section. You know, my friend Landon Halloween Villages, he actually had the idea on this that, yeah, construction site from a few years ago, that this is like the completed version of it. And I love that. That's a great idea. It's a very fun thought too. Yes, theming wise, this would go great in a town section. It would also work kind of in a haunted house section. It's not overly macabre or super realistic, but it's a lot of fun. You could get away with putting it there. It would also work by itself in its own little display, especially if you put a bunch of like ghost figurines around it. I think it would look good by itself because there's just so much lighting going on here. When you turn this piece on in your display, it's going to draw a lot of attention if you're putting it with a bunch of other stuff. So just FYI with that. It's a showpiece, like centerpiece style building. You know, I think you could also, even though it doesn't necessarily totally go together, put it with the graveyard party if you just want a crazy amount of lights and animation and everything. You put these two things next to each other and you've got a major light show going on you know, your living room or wherever you put the display. All right, guys, that's the Phantom View Apartments. A lot of fun. Play it here with the lights and sound. But let me know what you guys think of this below. It does look like Michaels is going to have this one out this year. Michaels just released their video where they showed all the buildings that are going to be released, mainly the exclusives, but in that video they actually did show, you can see the Phantom View Apartments in the back, so I would guess it's going to be in Michaels. If it's in Michaels, it's going to draw a lot of attention. This is just, it's like Graveyard Party in that way. All right, no teaser for the next video, guys, because I'm going to be waiting to get into my Michaels store. That should be pretty soon here. I mentioned I'm in the middle of a move, so not going to be doing any reviews till Michaels puts their stuff out here. So I'm looking forward to get into Michaels. As soon as all the Michaels stuff releases, I'm going to be doing a lot of videos covering a lot of stuff. All right, guys, thanks as always for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Just a note here before I do the lights and sound. If you hear any background noise on this, that's because I didn't realize whenever I was filming this, there was some, well, my kids were making noise in the background here upstairs from where I film, so a little bit of that bleeded through the video. So if you hear stomping around, that's not the Phantom View Apartments, that's my kids. So sorry about that. But anyways, here it is with the lights and sound.
Looking for a place to dwell, the Phantom View Apartments. The most haunting experience you can find. Our gardeners will keep an eye out for any welcome visitors. Can't the ghost just watch his white noise in peace? I gotta get out of here. You can run, but you can't hide. There's no escape. Wait, what is that white light? Dad? Oh no, please! Okay, apartment 4, she said. What's going on? Get me out of here! Looking for a place to dwell. The Phantom View Apartments. The most haunting experience you can find.